Hi gang, thanks for joining Front Range Yoga's 2020 Virtual Yoga Fest. I'm Ashely Kyle Miller and I am delighted to be here. I'm coming to you today from Manhattan, not Manhattan, Montana, but New York City. So if you hear any horns or sirens in the background, that's why. I am originally from Billings and spent my childhood summers with my grandparents, Doug and Bonnie Crary, on their ranch just west of Choteau. So this community is very near and dear to my heart, and I am delighted to be here today. For today's class, we're doing a 45-minute core flow, combining both classical Pilates mat exercises with an intermediate Vinyasa yoga flow. So you'll need a nice comfortable mat and a room to move about, no other equipment necessary. If you're dealing with any injuries, please modify the range of motion, take breaks as you need. If you're pregnant, I recommend not twisting in the transverse plane, but keeping it square to the front and engaging your obliques by drawing your bottom rib to your hip point in a lateral motion. You also don't need to lie on your stomach if you're pregnant, so you could just do a cat-cow series or some planks during that time. All right, let's get started. You've got a great playlist you love at home. I recommend pressing play now. I find for streaming, it's best if you can just hear the clarity of the instruction and jam out with your own music. So we'll get going here. In the center of our mat, go ahead and situate yourself on your back, hugging the knees into the chest. Take a moment here to close the eyes and just take a deep belly breath in, filling up all that space, feeling the ribs connect to the mat. Exhale, let it go. And again, hugging everything in nice and tight. Release. One more. And as you exhale, flutter the eyes open, curl the head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat, so just the tips of the shoulder blades are on the floor. This is our rest position. If you ever need to come back here, take a pause, lowering the neck as well. For the Pilates part of class, we want to really focus on engaging our core by drawing the belly button to the spine. This is activating your deepest level of abs, the transverse abdominis. So rather than the abs pushing out, we want to think that they're pulling in. From here, we lengthen our arms by the hips, extend the legs about 45 degrees. Now, higher will be more accessible, lower is more challenging. Figure out where you need to be today, making sure the small of your back isn't arching. It just has that nice, gentle, natural curve. From here, we pump the arms down, 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 engaging from the top of the arm. So we're moving from the shoulder, not flapping from the elbow or the wrist, right? It's very active. Imagine like you have springs under your hands, and we'll add a nice inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really lengthening out from the hips so the legs are long and engaged. They're not just kind of hanging there in space. This is just to warm us up. Finding our center, getting the blood flowing right away, connecting to our powerhouse. The original name for Pilates was controlology, so it's all about being able to control your limbs from your center. Couple more sets here. Let's go in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, big long breaths. Exhale with control. Last set. Breathe it out. And hug it in. Pause. Head comes down. Beautiful. Good warm up. From here, lengthen the legs long. Flexing your feet so the heels press firmly into the ground. And lengthen the arms up to the ceiling. Rolling the head of the shoulder down and back. So again, core is very activated. We're engaging our quads here to lift the kneecap up and squeeze the seat so the glutes fire and lift you off of the mat a little bit. The back is very involved. You should feel your lats firing here. On an exhale, you curl your chin to your chest and reach all the way up. Round it forward, nice curled spine. Inhale, lengthen nice and tall. Exhale to resist, rolling through each and every vertebrae. So it's never choppy, no throwing the body here. Momentum's not a muscle, so we want to control it the whole way. If you find yourself getting stuck, it's totally okay to bend your knees, use your hands to help you get up, or if you have a couch, you can always tuck your toes under the couch and use that for a little assist as you roll up and over, or grab a friend and have them hold your feet down as well. Taking our time, let's do a couple more here. That's it. Really deepening into the exhale, rounding the spine. Lots of length. Last one. From here, sit up tall, bring the hands by the hips, and just bend the knees so the feet are planted firmly on the mat. Hands come behind your thighs. Exhale as you roll down. It's like you've been punched in the gut. Nice, hollow, scooped out abs for our C-curve position. Heels are planted firmly in the floor. You take a little down and up. It's a small crunch. You want to right away find your challenge zone. So this shouldn't be just like you're hanging out. There's effort here in both the upper and lower abs. It's a little inhale back, exhale lift. And if you're feeling good here, you go ahead and lift the arms up. Ooh, there it is. Yeah, keeping the heels down. Let's make it a little harder. Add the arms coming up by our ears. So they lift as we go back. Ooh, and then they come up. It's not a big difference, but you feel it. Our arms aren't that heavy, but gosh, you bring them up by your ears and all of a sudden the upper abs really have to fire. Couple more right here. Really connecting to our center. Hold it at the top, furthest range of motion, little pulse back. Back, oh yeah, it should feel like your heels want to pop off of the floor, but they don't. You press them back down. For 4, 3, 2, stay right here, bring your arms forward. Now, if you're twisting, this is where we start to twist up and towards the front. And then we come through center, up, exhale, twist to the back. You want to think like you're wringing out a dish rag. Yes. Rotating stomach, ribs, and chest. And letting the head and neck turn as well, finishing out the curve. Remember, you can always be here if that's the option that's right for you today. Otherwise, if you want to pick this up a little, we can add a little toe tap, lifting, and back to the floor. Maybe you want to get fancy with it. You're ready to amp it up. You keep both legs up and you go a little quicker. Woo! Yeah, that's it. Maybe you straighten the legs. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Toes come down. Good. From here, roll yourself all the way back down to the center of the mat. Front leg is long. Back leg lifts to the ceiling. So, lengthening behind the leg. We want a straight leg here. By engaging the quads, we're not jamming the knee back. If you have tight hamstrings, just lower the leg. A straight leg here is better than a bent leg here. We're not going to increase our flexibility and range of motion if we always keep it bent. So you have to work to lengthen the muscle fibers and the hamstrings wherever you're at today. Palms come down to the floor, or they can rest on your hips for a little feedback here and see if you're shifting side to side. Everything is engaged. It's like you're wearing a musculature corset, really zipped up the front. Lengthen through the toes. I like a pointed foot here to get more length out of the hips. And then we make a small circle across the body, down and up. So it's very smooth and controlled. Little circle, straight down, exhale, lift. It's an inhale and an exhale. Always connecting breath to motion. Nothing else is rotating. Shouldn't be clicky or poppy in the hips. Really gentle and small. Slow and steady always wins the Pilates race. One more this way, pause at the top, and then reverse it. So we go out, down, around, and lift. Outer thighs and inner thighs. That's it. Really isolating this movement with our adductors and our abductors. 2 more. Always exhaling on the more effortful part. Last one. Pause it here. Lengthen the bottom leg off of the floor so you're in a scissor position. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up and start to pulse. Exhale, reach towards your toes. Trying to get the tips of the shoulder blades off of the mat a little higher with each breath. We have 4, 3, and 2. Hold on to either your calf or your thigh, whatever you can reach, just not the knee. We take a little pulse in, 2, 3, exhale, switch again. In, 2, 3, and we change. Feeling the inner thighs brush past each other. Again, going for length here. The hands are just a little assist, the effort, and the work is still coming from the abs. If you prefer to flex your feet, that's great as well. Helps to straighten the legs. That's it. Last set. Good work, gang. We have 3, 2, 1. Hug it in, knees to chest, rest position. From here, firmly press your hands into your shins and actively press your shins up into your hands. So there's some resistance and tension here. You feel your biceps engaged. And then once again, curl the neck, head, and shoulders off of the mat. Think about the distance between your ribs and your thighs staying the same. So you're not throwing yourself apart, but staying in this nice contracted little circle. We rock and roll just to the tips of our shoulder blades and then right behind our sit points, finding our balance, massaging the spine, engaging our abs. Be careful that you don't pop your booty and straighten your back. You're still rounded at the top, right? You never want to roll onto our neck or our head. So it's just finding that nice, engaged, rounded spine. Taking our time, 2 more. Hold it here at the top, little pause. Lengthen the back leg long, front leg stays bent. We take the front hand to the ankle, the back hand to the knee with control. Roll down just to the tips of the shoulder blades. Here we go, single leg stretch, out and in from the hips. Finding length, core engagement is key. Again, we're not poofing or pooching out our abs. We're keeping this nice, flat, contracted center. If you need to lower the head, that's always an option if your neck is getting fatigued. Couple more here, just warming up. Last set. And hug it in, release, head comes down. Okay, that was getting us ready for our double leg stretch. So this time, both arms and legs extend at the same time. We start in our lifted, engaged position, and then shoot the biceps by the ears as we straighten the legs, find a nice hollow shape. Tee the arms to the side, get a little higher. Exhale, hug it in. Again, inhale, lengthen long, hold for a moment. Exhale and pause. I like to think of a gymnast in a handstand here, or a diver at the top of a diving board, nice and long and engaged, zipped up the front, that really hollow banana boat position. 2 more. Last one, hold it here nice and long, scissor the feet for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug it in, release, good. From here, hands come behind the nape of the neck to support us as we exhale and lift up. Bring the legs to a tabletop position, so we've got knees over hips, not into our waist, but really square here, so we're still keeping this lower abdominal engagement. With control, slowly lengthen the legs about 45 degrees, and then squeeze the inner thighs together, slowly draw it in. Again, remember, play with the height. Lower, more of a challenge, a little bit higher, a little more accessible. We lighten the lever load. Play with that. Take your time. We're not just jutting the legs out and letting them drop. We're controlling and reaching and drawing and resisting. Yes, that's it. There's our wonderful NYC sirens. 1 more. Nice long legs. Hold it long. Teeny, teeny, tiny. 1 little inch. You should barely see your legs move. Down an inch. Exhale and lift. So tiny and controlled. 0 momentum. You're not changing the hips. Not changing the torso. Tiny. Ooh. This is one we should all start making faces. You got it. One of my favorite exercises. So small and so effective. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug it in. Woo! Plant the feet on the floor. All right, coming into our next series, we have the crisscross or bicycle, as it's often called. Before we get going, I want to just talk about our form for a moment. A lot of times we see bicycle and it looks like this, where we're moving from the shoulder, right? And we're like, oh, I touched my elbow to my knee, I got it. But there's nothing going on in the obliques. The goal of this exercise is to lift and twist through the waist. So again, if you're pregnant, you keep it right here. Otherwise, we're coming up through center and we make the goal of exercise the back elbow to lengthen behind us, square it off, and again, back elbow reaches behind. If your elbow touches your opposite knee, super cool, icing on the cake, not necessary at all to get an effective oblique engagement. So let's start with the feet on the floor, just to try a couple like that. We exhale, lift up, and then we twist, again, rotating back elbow, getting all this space under the armpit. Come through center, get a little higher, and exhale, reach to the other side. Inhale in center, exhale to twist. It's a little awkward with the feet down, but it's good practice. Back to center, release. Let's add the legs and see what happens. So, we have back leg long, front knee bent in, roll up, exhale, rotate, still making the goal. Back elbow, back corner of the mat. Start slow. Find the rotation. Hold it. Hug it in. That's it. Once you get this, you want to pick up the pace a little. Go for it. Side to side. Yeah, we're really cruising now. Trying to keep the shoulder blades off the mat so you're getting that lift each way. We've got this, gang, for 4, 3, 2, 1. And come down, pause, feet on the mat. Nice big belly breath in. Excellent. Lengthen the legs nice and long. Reaching your arms above your head, flip in one piece to your stomach, and just reposition yourself on your mat. So we started with this front of body core engagement. Now we're getting into some upper back work. So you can think of this series as like sit-ups for your spine. Very important for our posture and long-term health. So forehead down on the mat. Draw the palms back by your ribs. Elbows are high, hugging in towards your midline. Abs lift off the mat. So we're not just relaxed and hanging out here. We're still engaged. Glutes are firing, toes pointing, tops of the feet firmly press into the floor. Draw the palms back by your ribs, activating your triceps, feeling your ROMs under your shoulder blades. On an inhale, dig the palms back, lengthen through the crown of the head, lift the chest off the mat, little baby cobra. Exhale, release. Again, lengthen first as you inhale and lift. Exhale, bring it down with control. Really feeling the upper back start to fire. It's in control. The hands are just here to guide us. Beautiful. Last one. Lower down. Good. From here, lengthen the arms long in front of you. Taking this into a fuller shape, we have Shalabhasana, both arms and legs lift at the same time. Now, if your heels are together, a little more glute work. Farther apart, a little easier on the low back. Figure out where you need the feet to be today. If you've got any shoulder impingements or something going on, you can always have your hands by your side as well. Nice long arms. From here, we lengthen through fingers and toes. On the inhale, we lift everything off the mat. Big lift. Hold for a moment. And pause. Inhale to grow longer. Exhale to come down. Again, this shouldn't feel tight and pinched. It's a lengthen and a lift. Playing with it here. Maybe feet together for one. On this next one, hold at the top. Gaze forward, lift right arm and left leg, and then swap it. So opposite arm and leg. Going for a little swim. Keep the chest lifted. A little faster paddle. Lift the abs off the mat. That's it. You're going to make it all the way to the end of the pool. You've got this. Breathe for 4. In 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Head comes down. Shake the hips a little side to side. Let it go. And then staying here, we'll just place our palms into the mat. Making a fist with one hand, cupping it with the other. Lifting the abs away so we're not sinking into the floor. We take a little hamstring work here. Nice, proud, open chest. You kick the front heel in. 2, 3, and you swap again. In, 2, 3. Now this should be nice and parallel. Nothing popping or clicking in the knees. If it is, you're probably turning in and out a little, so slow it down, make it smaller. Really think about actively drawing your heel towards your seat, firing up the hamstrings and the glutes. You can stay right here. If you want to amp it up a little, you tuck the toes, you come into a forearm plank. Keep it going. Boom, 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 and we swap. Yes, that's it. Really firing our core, using all that ab work we just did to hold us up. Really press firmly through the forearms. You got this, gang. We're almost there. One more set. Last one. And then slowly bend the knees lower down. And little windshield wiper for the low back. You got it. Lengthen the legs long, flip back over again. This time we stay on our back, we bend the knees. Feet are pressed firmly into the mat, coming into a little bridge series. So the closer your heels are to your seat, the more you're gonna fire up the back of the leg. The further away, the more stability, the more room you have. Figure out the distance that's right for you. Press the palms firmly into the mat. Nice wide open chest. As you press into the heels, think about activating your hamstrings that we just fired on our back, right? So you're dragging the heels towards you, firing up the back of the leg. And then you curl the tailbone, lifting from the seat through the low back up. Knees stay parallel with the toes. Chest is lifting. There's space between your chin and your chest. You can still breathe. Squeeze and hold. Slowly reverse the curl. Hover, don't touch the mat. And lift back up. That's it. Articulating through our spine, just like when we did in the beginning with roll-ups. We don't want to miss a single vertebrae. Rolling down, hover, squeeze. Lift up, flattening the front of the hips. Opening up our psoas. Hold it at the top. Little pulse, squeeze, lift. Squeeze, lift. Now, I like my heels a little closer here. I feel like I can get a little higher. Hold it at the top. Shift the weight towards the back foot. Lengthen the front leg long. Now, be careful the hips don't dip, right? You got to really press down. Keep them even. Kick, bottom of the front leg up. As it lowers, press in through the supporting heel. Lift that hip higher. Yes, that's it. You lift, and then you kick and lengthen. Yeah, really isolating one side of the body. Your supporting leg should really start to feel it. Last one, hold it here, little pulse for 8. In 6, you have 4, 3, 2, bend the knee, lower the hips, knees tap together. Whew, brilliant. Well, one side's done, so that's great. We know where we're going. We have the second leg. Square it back up, hips are even, hands are down. Roll the hips up, right at the top. Right away, we shift the weight to the front foot, lengthen the back leg long, take your bot mat kick, and then press down to lift the hips up as you lower the leg. We stop when the leg is at knee height, right? So it's not dipping down to the floor. It's even with the supporting leg. That's it. 2 more just like that. Looking fierce. Last one, hold it here, little pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, for 4, 3, 2, lower down. Good. Knees together, take a breath. Whew, big belly breath in, excellent. You've worked your core, you've worked your back, you've worked your booty. Knees into the chest, we give ourselves a little rock and roll. Massaging out the spine. And coming all the way to our toes so we can plant our palms into the mat. Up on the balls of the feet. Simply walk your feet back, find a high plank position and hold. Puffing up between your shoulder blades, engaging your glutes. Long line from crown of the head through the heels, so we're not mountain peaking, we're not drooping. Really lift a tiny micro bend in the elbow. And then just slowly scoot the hips back. Separate the feet so they're hip width if they aren't already. Press the chest towards the floor. First downward dog of the day. Let the head be heavy, shake it. Yes and no. Really relaxing there. Jog the heels a little if you need. A little more space in the back of the legs. And then take a couple rounds here of just lifting the chest, pulling back forward to your high plank position, and then hips high downward dog. This is a great marker to find the appropriate length of your down dog. A lot of times we get shortened down dogs. We think that this is somehow easier or feels better or something. We really want to have enough distance between the hands and the feet to get a good stretch and room for the inversion. You know, our head is below our heart. This does count as an inversion. One more, hold it here. And then from here, lift the back leg long, hip height, bend the knee, flip it open, give yourself a little space. Couple circles, one direction, other direction. Hips are open here, very easy, whatever feels nice. Lengthen the legs, square it off from here. 3-legged dog, bring the knee up to your nose and lengthen out. Now, because we did all of that core work, you should really feel your abs engaging, hollowing out, whoop, and then pressing long. A lot of times we get stuck, right, when we're coming forward for warrior 1 or 2. If that happens to you, you can just pick the foot up and move it. However, to get better at this, we have to hollow out our abs, engaging our core, puffing through the shoulder blades so there's room for the knee, right? Especially as ladies, our center of gravity is in the hips. It's a little harder to get the knee up there sometimes. And for gentlemen, sometimes there isn't as much hip flexibility, so it's just a matter of practice. Placing the foot on the floor this time, gently bring the back knee down, lifting the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Soft little press forwards. We're not dumping into the hips, but getting a nice gentle stretch in the psoas, gazing towards the ceiling. Bring the hands to the sides. Draw the front hip back, flexing the foot, getting a little hamstring stretch. If available, keep your spine nice and flat. If you've got yoga blocks, you can always put them under your hands here as well. If you don't have them, you can use anything sturdy that won't fall over on you. And then placing the foot back down. Tuck the back toes, lift. Step it back to downward dog. Coming back forward to our plank. Very slowly with control. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Take a little baby cobra inhale. Exhale, replace, tuck the toes, bend the knees, lift the hips, press it back, downward dog. Second side, front leg lifts. We bend the knee, taking a couple circles. This is one chance where we get to twist the hips open. Still squaring the shoulders to the floor though. Reverse this circle here. I'm putting a little more weight in my front hand so that I don't just dump into the back arm for support. Square it off, and once again, draw the knee up, lengthen it out. Nice and hollow. Practice for mountain climbers. Everybody's favorite, right? Good one. Get the job done. 2 more. Noticing if it's different from side to side. Sometimes we're a little uneven, so good to pay attention to that. Foot comes down, back knee gently taps. Arms reach up, Anjaneyasana, elbows by ears, squaring off the hips. Big belly breath in, get a little taller. Exhale, hands by the hips, flex the front foot, drawing the hip back. Excellent. Replace the toe, lift the back knee, step it back, nice and slow, all the way to the ground. Hands by the ribs for our little baby cobra. Lower it down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, step it back. From here, lift the heels, just gently start to walk forward towards your hands. Hang heavy, opposite elbow to hand, little side to side. Making sure your weight is forward in the balls of the feet so we're not locking out the knees. Letting the spine find some traction. And you can shake the head yes and no if that feels nice. Hands down, a little bend, extend. Stretching the back of the leg. And then the next one, tailbone tucks under and we slowly roll up for 4, 3, 2. Head is the last to arrive. All right, toes and heels together, getting into our flow. We inhale to lift, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, hands either to the floor or the shins. Plant the hands down, bend the knees, step, step back, plank. Lower halfway down to Chaturanga, shoulder doesn't pass to elbow. From here, you just pick up the toes and point them. Putting weight into your knuckles, you press the chest up. It's a back bend for upward dog. And then we just lift the feet, reach up. Press the hips high. There it is. That's our flow. You got this, gang. Breathe for 1. Exhale out. Again, inhale, filling up the back of the ribs. Release, get a little lower. The last breath. From here, we lift the heels, bend the knees, hop off or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to reach. And let's take that again, adding on a bit here. So it's an inhale, exhale down. Plant the hands, hop or step back. If you're hopping, hollow out your abs. Give yourself some space, puff through those shoulder blades. Right back to Chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Good. From here, the back leg lifts. We draw it in with our abs, planting it on the floor. Pivot the back foot to 45 degrees. I have heel to heel alignment. I press down and root to rise. Elbows by ear. Warrior 1, ribs and shoulders are front. Back leg is rotating behind us. We're working in opposition to square the hips to the front of the mat. Nice, clean angle in the front leg so the knee isn't pressing past the toes. Big breath in. Exhale, lift the back heel. Pivot, hips, shoulders, arms open wide, Warrior 2. Yes, there it is. Getting comfy here. Reaching long through both hands, very expansive energy in both directions. Get a little further front, and then take the reverse behind if you want to take a half band bind. You're welcome to do that. And then release back to center. Windmill down to the mat, step it back, and take your flow. That's it. Front leg lifts, hip height, draw it forward, replant. Pivoting the back heel down. Firm foundation before we lift the hands always. Again, really checking in with our form and alignment. That is key all throughout yoga. On the next breath, lift the back heel, pivot, open, Warrior 2. Make sure this front knee stays tracking over the center of the foot. It likes to roll in, square it off, boom. From here, we reach a little further front. Exhale for the reverse. Big breath between the ribs, getting all this space here. And those intercostal muscles. Square it off, windmill the hands down, low lunge. Step it back, and take your flow. That's it. From here, you lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, step, hop, float. Whatever you prefer to the front of the mat. Fold forward, inhale, lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to rise, hands to the side, Tadasana. This time, we amp it up a little, hips low, arms high, chair pose. Getting comfy right away, biceps by the ears, drawing the inner thighs together, engaging our abs, ribs are knit. All right, so no arching of the spine. It's a nice deep low squat. Getting comfy, being uncomfortable. It's not forever, right? We can do it. Get a little lower. Another inch down. Scoot your hips further back. Stick with it. Yeah, we get stronger every moment that we stay a little longer here. Breathe in and let it go. Reach further through your fingers. We're almost there. And pull forward, lift the hips. Ooh boy, that's it. Lengthen long. Plant the hands. Hop or step back. Chaturanga. Up dog. Lift the hips. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. This time the back leg lifts. We draw it forward, plant the foot a little quicker. Warrior one. Into warrior two. Take the reverse. This time forearm comes down to the thigh. We come into side angle. Now if you have a blocker, you prefer bringing the hand to the floor, that is absolutely all right as well. Either in front or behind the leg. Again, just keeping this nice clean alignment. From here, wherever you are, go ahead and reach the hand to the shin or the floor. Start to straighten the leg, coming into triangle. Drawing the bottom ribs forward. You might need to slide the back foot in a little bit. Big breath here. Again, we're lengthening the kneecap up so we aren't jamming it back, no locking of the joints. And then we rebend, coming through warrior two, sweep the back arm up to high lunge, replant the hands, step it back and find your flow. Woo! Excellent, gang. Second side, here we go. Front leg, lift it up. Hover it under, plant the foot. Back heel down, warrior one. Right away we open warrior two. Reach a little further front, take the reverse. And then as you come forward, you draw the forearm to the thigh, reach the top arm up. Pressing away here, so there's space between your ear and your shoulder. And then I like to draw this back foot in just a little. So I shift my weight forward, just scoot that heel forward. That way I can press the hip back as I straighten my knee and find triangle. Yeah, you'll know when the length is right for yourself. It's usually a little shorter than our warrior two side angle position. From here, we bend the knee. Cartwheel arms forward, nice high lunge. Plant the hands down. Step it back. And take your Vinyasa Flow. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Hop or jump to the front of the mat. Hanging heavy. We've got another chair pose. Hips low, arms high. Yeah, here we go. We know this guy. We've got it. Should be able to lift the toes off of the floor, right? Weight is really in the heels. Bring the arms a little higher. Sometimes we get a little lax and they come down here. Lift them up. Go for it. You showed up today. Make it worth it. For 4. 3. Yeah, for 2. And 1 for forward release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Big breath to rise. And release. Let's take that again a little quicker. We've got one more addition. It's a fun one. Not taking as much time here. So we're going to get low right away, and then fold forward, lengthen long, hands down, finding our flow. We know where we're going right away. Back leg comes forward, really solid with these positions. Even when they're a little quicker transitions, we find warrior one before opening to warrior two, getting the length and stretch in our reverse. Our forearm comes down, we find our side angle. Draw the back heel in a little and extend into triangle pose. Yeah, getting that stretch in the inner thigh. From here, straighten up, straight torso, legs stay where they are. Boom. You rock back, so you're shifting your weight onto the back foot. Front leg lifts, and then I take front arm and leg and wrap, coming into eagle. So I'm facing you guys so you can see this. It's a shift of the weight. Thigh is high, you cross. Maybe you stay here with a little kickstand. Maybe you can wrap your toes. Either one is cool. This front arm reaches under. Back of the palms an option, or palms together. Hips low, squeeze. Everything into center. Lift the elbows a little higher. Lift your abs. You've got this. Breathe it out. For 4. 3, we're not done here. Another transition. 1, lift it up. Uncross the legs. Keep your balance on one leg. Pivoting again so we can see. Uncross the arms. Shoot it back. We have warrior 3. Yeah. Bend this knee a little if you need to for balance. You can bring arms forward as well for more of a challenge. Both hips towards the mat. For 4. 3. Ready. Bend the knee. Hands forward. Pitch it down. Standing splits. Boom. Opening up. Drawing your forehead to your shin. We take a little curtsy. Back knee down. Lift it up. Cross and stretch. Doesn't matter how high your leg goes. It matters, again, that you have clean alignment and your weight is forward in the ball of the foot. On this next one, lower with control, shin all the way down. We're in a seated spinal twist, hugging the knee in towards the chest. Reach the back arm up. We take that rotation through the waist, hook the elbow, gaze behind, close twist to start. Make sure the head is finishing off the twist by looking behind you. Big breath in. Come through center. Opposite way, take the open twist. And then to the middle, plant your hands, front leg unwraps, and we shoot it back, three-legged dog. Woo! If that was a little tricky, you can just come to a knee and find a plank. Either way, plant the foot, take your flow. We've got the second side. Almost there, gang. We got it. Remember the whole sequence? It's okay if you don't, I'm going to show you. Front leg lifts, bring it through, turn the back heel down, arms come high. Pivot open, warrior two. Get longer as you stretch in the reverse. Drawing the forearm down, we have side angle pose. Back heel slides in a little bit as we straighten the leg, pull the front hip back, rotate the ribs forward. Yes, triangle. Now keep the leg straight. Press down through the outside edge of your back foot, stand up tall, boom. Now here's the shift, right? I'm shifting into my back foot as I lift my front leg and arm. Yep, and then I swoop over and under. Eagle pose, hips are low. Side angle view this time, right? Getting the elbows high. Really squeezing towards midline. It's going to help keep you from falling over. Get comfy here. Lift up with your abs so you're not just dumping into your hips for 4, 3, 2, slowly with control, release. Find that little passe, parallel tree pose. Shoot it back. Boom. Yeah. Warrior two, respecting if there's a difference from side to side, noticing and adjusting what needs a little assistance. Longer through the hands, bend the supporting knee, pitch it forward, standing split. Stretching it out, and taking our curtsy. Crossing the inner thighs, drawing the knee down. Nice squeeze and lift. We have 2 more. Last one, gently with control, bring the shin down, bring the seat down, so it's not a plop. We place ourselves on the mat. Lifting up nice and high, take the rotation towards the cross knee first. So the closed twist. Lifting up really helps, right? So we're not rounded on our back. We've got a nice straight spine to rotate around. Come through center, opposite side. Gazing behind. That's it. From here, you plant the hands. You can take that fancy twist back to a 3-legged dog or just come however it's accessible. Plank to down dog. Back leg lifts. We bring it towards the opposite elbow. Towards the same elbow. Once more, opposite elbow. This time gently bringing the hips to the floor for pigeon. Now the trick with pigeon is we want the hips at the same height. So if you're a little tight here, rather than sinking into that hip, grab a pillow, grab a blanket, grab a block, whatever's available, put it under your hip, right? You square yourself up. You want this back knee not turned out, but parallel to the ground. So you're gonna stretch in the psoas, side seat. The more parallel this leg is, the more intense, the closer to the seat. Give yourself a little more room. Slowly start to crawl the hands out, forearms to the mat, gently resting the forehead down. Try to release all the effort here. So if you feel like you're still holding yourself up and it's really tight, put some other stuff on the floor. Give your head a rest, right? You don't have to go all the way to the ground. Make it accessible so that you can really release all the tension and the work of the last 45 minutes. Find a juicy spot to hang out and let the muscles just have a little break. Big breath in, slowing the heart rate, letting ourselves take a little pause. One more breath. And then slowly, with control, tucking the toes, lifting that hip up. I'm just going to move my pillow to the other side. Replace the hands, step it back. Downward dog. Option to take one final flow of class. Or you can just go right into pigeon on the second side. Again, using this pillow is key. because where my hips are right now, this is square, right? My butt isn't totally on the ground. If I put it on the ground, see how the weight shifts, right? I mean, if you can keep it square and get it down there, awesome. But for most of us, a little cushion or something to elevate the bent leg hip is very helpful. Taking our time to crawl the hands out. There's probably going to be a difference from side to side. Most of us favor one side. Maybe you have some old injuries. It's very telling when one side is tighter or more stable, just in how we hold ourselves and the mechanics of walking and standing and going about our everyday life. So yoga reveals a lot of that stuff. It's good. We can work on evening it out. Big breaths, continuing to let the heart rate slow down. 2 more, filling up the back of the ribs. Last one, gently press yourself up, lifting that away. Swing the legs around. Nice long legs, pulling the flesh out from underneath your bum. So you've got straight legs here again. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, if you have a strap or a rope or something to reach over your toes, very useful to hold on to that like stirrups and pull your chest towards the mat. If not, just start here, flat spine, hinging at the waist. So rather than round, you want a flat back. See how far you can go. Maybe you only go a little bit, right? And that's enough. You can stay here. And then you round. You can even place your head in your hands for a little support. Or if you've got a little more space today, you can point the toes, lengthen out, and roll all the way down. Breathing into the back, reaching the hands a little further. Trying to keep the legs nice and straight. So we get a maximum stretch here. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it up. Center yourself here so you have room. Your torso in the middle of the mat. Legs are long, feet are relaxed. Palms up, shoulder blades underneath us. For a nice, gentle Savasana. Closing the eyes, giving yourself a rest at the end. Try to really let all the weight of the body melt into the floor. The feet are heavy, thighs are heavy, hips are still, belly rises and drops with the breath. Shoulders gently roll into the mat. Palms should feel like you're holding something. There's a weight keeping the hands on the floor. Neck relaxes. Try to unhinge the jaw, unfurl the brow, heavy tongue. If you have a hard time lying still, inhale and silently think the word let. Exhale and silently think the word go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. If you'd like more time to rest, I invite you to stay here as long as is comfortable. Otherwise, start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing a little life into your body. Slowly roll to one side, pressing yourself up with your hands. Head is the last to arrive. Find a comfortable seated position, Virasana, Sukhasana, whatever you prefer. Palms down to be more grounded, palms up to be more receiving. Gently shut the eyes, roll the shoulders down and back. Take a big belly breath in. Go ahead and take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Feel that breath expansive through the torso. Exhale, release. One more. Palms to heart center, gently flutter the eyes open. And namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for Core Flow, little Pilates Yoga Fusion class. Again, I'm Ashely Kyle Miller. Thank you so much for joining Front Range Yoga's Virtual Yoga Fest 2020. Check out more of the classes. There's a lot of great content, and we will see you in person or online